We've become familiar with the June swoon. We are now witnessing the May meltdown. Laura, what do you make of all this that's gone on with the New York Mets?
I mean, it honestly looks like they're unraveling. I mean, Francisco Lindor spoke last week, and he said, I don't know if there is too much value to team meetings, and now they're in a situation where they absolutely had to call one. And constantly, both him and Brandon Nimmo harped on the idea of process, the fact that the Mets are not adhering to the process correctly. And so that makes me think, is there a concern that maybe they're not working hard enough, that they're not doing what they need to do in order to get the results that they have, that they need to get? So, when I look at that, and when I also look at last year, I think if you're a fan watching this, you have to wonder, why is it that these players, why is it that this team that could be so good on paper, these hitters that are so good on paper, are not producing at the level that we expect? I know people are wondering, is there something wrong in the clubhouse? Are they not relating to each other correctly? We don't know. We're not behind those doors, but clearly there's a deep sense of dissatisfaction.
Something I heard a long time ago was that you don't have to like everybody you play with, but you do have to respect them. You're professional baseball players, right? And you have to respect the people around you. You have to respect the work that guys are putting in. And it sounds like, as Laura just said, that maybe some processes and some work that's being put in is not enough. Or maybe they're not going about it the way that Carlos Mendoza and this Mets team need them to do so. I think what is really rough right now, it's like the perfect storm, right? The games have been brutal. The team has not been able to win. They have zero momentum. Nothing is going their way. Guys are getting hurt. They are dropping like flies left and right. So everything has culminated into this moment. And I think something that people are going to wonder is, should there be results right away? Are they going to go out tomorrow and the season's going to be turned around? Like, this is going to be a year-long process. I think you got to dig your feet in right now and wait and see how things are going to play out. But what I want to see from these guys is just not playing flat, right? Play with some energy, play with some heart. I don't care if you don't win another game. I know you do. I don't care if you don't win another game, but I want to see you respect your teammates. I want to see you play your heart out. Like, this is a game, but go out there and compete. You're professional ball players, and you got a job to do.
I didn't have high expectations coming into the year for the Mets, JJ, but it's gotten even worse than that. Like, even if you didn't think this team was going to be good, they find new lows to reach, it seems, every single series or every game. What do you make of what's gone on with the Mets this month?
It's nightmarish. There's no other way around it. And I know you ladies are talking about the vibe within the clubhouse. We spent a lot of time last year talking about, hey, the vibes for the Mets are not where they need to be in the clubhouse. Everything is figured out in spring training. All of a sudden, there's a much better vibe around the team. But the vibes seem worse now than they were last year at this point. And I'm with you, Sal. I thought they were a 500 type of ball club going into the season. And I know some people look at the lack of activity from David Stearns and Steve Cohen and say, oh, that's why the Mets are in this position. That's nonsense. The reason the Mets are in this position, the guys who are supposed to be the foundational pieces on this team, you look up and down. Nimmo, down year. McNeil, horrendous. Lindor hitting 205. Alonso, before this injury, not performing. Edwin Diaz can't even handle being the closer for this team. So this is not about the offseason pickups that were or weren't made by the Mets. This is about the guys who are on this team that are supposed to be the pillars of this organization. They're stinking it up across the board.
They have not been, and this is, like, I'd love to see somebody dispute this fact. They have not been the same since they blew the division in 2022 to the Atlanta Braves. They followed it up with a pathetic performance in the postseason last year. If you wanted to try to erase that going into the year, okay, on paper, they should contend for the World Series. Diaz gets hurt in the WBC. The Mets flop, have an awful year, obviously, last year. It's now been all of last year combined with the start of this year and the end of 2022 with this same core group. That is exactly right. Those are the issues.